We are live once again. Flurry Sports Podcast is back, episode 170, and we are live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. If you're listening to this after the fact, you can catch this video on YouTube. Jake's putting up the X. I guess Elon is calling it X.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can subscribe and catch our live streams over there, and you can jump in the chat like I'm sure Randy and others will be doing at some point very soon. You can ask us questions. We can talk about it live. But you can also subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts after the fact. We are the award-nominated podcast multiple times. And Jake, this time next week, the awards will be announced. Wow. Will we still be award-nominated? Or will we have that championship belt?
There's one of two possible outcomes. Either we win or
we're done.
We're done. We're done, dude. Now, I was going to say it's us or I don't think so.
That would be if I don't think so comes off the top rope and wins. That would be funny. That would be very funny.
Or if Pete wins the Bob Bozold Award.
Oh, deserving. I don't think they do this at the award show, but I hope Bob Bozold presents that category and has to give the award to Pete. That would make it good.
To him every year. It's like, thanks for making up this award just for me. Zach, soon to be the award-winning podcast. We thank you all for listening. It's been a hell of a week. Wrestling fans, there was a rumble. Basketball fans, the Lakers are still upset at something. I don't know. Why are we still it's you know what? Everyone gets mad at LeBron because it's always like the LeBron show, which finding out he was the oldest player in the league this week made me feel fucking ancient. That was not good.
Haslam was forced into retirement.
Yeah, that was not good for the ego. Dragic is gone. Everyone else is out. Howard's gone. That'd be close. I actually don't know who's older between those two. But all of that's happening. Here's who should get more flack. Why? The Warriors. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Like I did. Like you had a moment. Like I've got to see Warriors news all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's like cool. I don't really like Anthony Edwards. Borderline isn't an all-star.
Anthony Edwards is a dog. He's so good. T-Wolves are so good. Karl Anthony Towns goes absolutely bananas about a week ago. Yeah. T-Wolves lose. Surprise, surprise. One of the few losses T-Wolves have this year is when Karl Anthony Towns plays well, and that's not a coincidence. But yeah, we talked before the show about plenty of things. One of the things you said was you're very out of touch with basketball right now, and I mean, you kind of hit it, whereas like there's so much Warriors news for a team that's so bad, and it's all because it's just anticipation. It's just like they have to make a move at the deadline because there's surely no way that they're just going to roll in with a aged, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, all of that, and change anything because they've been so bad this year. There's people saying Steve Kerr is very clearly the problem. They should fire him mid-season, all of that. So who are they going to bring in to revive this team? Because I don't know how exactly they get to the point, but I can only assume they get the 10 seed or whatever. They are in the play-in tournament. They win that game. They get the 8th seed. They play the Timberwolves, who are the 1 seed in the first round, and Timberwolves get bounced. I can only assume that's what's going to happen. It's just how do we get to that point? And it wouldn't surprise me if the Warriors do nothing, but it also wouldn't surprise me if they trade for insert star that I don't really know who's available. Kelly Olynyk, maybe.
Maybe. What's Meta World Peace up to? I think Caron Butler on another team. How many does he need? But here's my thing with the NBA. It's becoming the NHL. We're just like stuck in 2016. Like NHL picked 2008 and we never left. You can't convince me Alex Ovechkin's not 52 at this point. It's like still Crosby and him are like still the two. We've said that for years. Give me 3 names, NHL. That's all I need. And that's what NBA is becoming. Like all of this is just like remember when we cared? Remember when it was LeBron Warriors and like then a little bit of that? I know this because ESPN the other day said, when is Kawhi going to get hot? I don't know. Might be a while. So I think that's all wild. I will say I'm a part of the problem because my favorite tweet from this last week is someone saying, I hope the Mavs get the 1 seed just so the Warriors can bounce them again.
I mean, that would be fun.
Which is a reference to Dirk Nowitzki era, which again is the problem. But I think all of that is wild and messed up. I also have a commentary on being a sports fan because this is how you know when you're in too deep in sports. I'm such a gross sports fan, but not enough in on basketball that I knew that Pascal Siakam got traded to the Pacers, but I didn't know the Bucks got Doc as coach.
Oh, really? Yeah, it kind of happened pretty closely to each other. A lot of mixed opinions, I feel like, firing the Bucks coach. And by the way, a few people watching right now, 8 people watching.
Yeah.
If you don't look it up, $10 to anyone who names the Bucks coach that was fired. Jake, you're a Bucks fan.
That's crazy. Is it Siakam? Did we trade him to the Pacers? Dude, okay, can I take a stab? It's not a name. Because when
you can say whatever name you want, and it might be right. I don't know. I don't know his name.
They showed a photo. This is bad. They showed a photo, and they were like, this guy got replaced by Doc. And I went, is that the dude who had an affair at the Celtics?
No. He's in Houston. I do know that.
Okay. I was like, he's just been around. I was just like, and it's just bad because it's like, I'm talking about sports. I just wish I knew coaches better like I used to in the NBA. Like, where's Larry Brown?
I mean, it's insane because coaches are so insignificant in the NBA for the most part. There's some things like the best coaches, the best of the best, they make a difference. Like the Eric Spoelstras of the world and stuff like that when it matters. But especially, I mean, recording this January 29th, there isn't a damn coach who matters on January 29th in the NBA. No. Absolutely not. But I mean, similar to hockey, maybe. And again, this is someone who is not a big hockey guy. I can only assume their coaches don't do a damn thing. They just wear tie. Any coach who wears a tie in a game, they're nothing to me. They're just posers.
Let's get out now. What sport does coaches do the most? Any of them
do the most?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, let's just start eliminating them, right?
Yeah.
Not
out
NBA,
of the big
not
four.
MLB. It has to be
football.
Has to be.
And we had a whole scandal last year where Mike McCarthy wasn't doing enough calling timeouts.
Yeah.
Like, and spoilers for later in the show, we got a lot of backlash for a coach who tried to take a lot of control over the game.
True.
So it has to be them. It has to be them because you can't convince me the hockey coach does anything but call out lines.
I don't think they do. Like, this might be the most ignorant take of all time. I legitimately don't think they do anything in the game. I think it's all pregame stuff. But I don't know.
We're getting laughed at right now. This is like, that's how I feel, by the way, more than soccer or football. For sure. Because
I think you make substitutions. I think that's what they do.
100%, but you make 2 a game.
Right. But like hockey doesn't do that.
No, that's but they do planned. Lines. They do whole line substitutions. Quantity.
Pre-game though. But yeah, they have it mapped out.
I mean, I'm with you. Like baseball does a little bit more because at least they do like bullpen calls.
Sure. Yeah, if we have to rank them, hockey has to be last. It has to be.
Let me, sorry, that you was a little strong. You was a little strong. Felt like I was coming at you. The general you, the royal you, you got to think that maybe you're discounting hockey a little bit because they're wearing suits. They were dressed like Bill Belichick. You'd think they were doing more. I think you got a little fancy boy bias.
For sure, but they don't say anything. They don't do anything.
You've been watching
There's no
lips.
way.
Yeah.
They stand on the bleacher so they can see because the players are in the way. That's all they do.
I was thinking about this because I'm getting into the Netflix show where everyone's playing rugby. That's the dumbest way to describe that show. Makes it seem like everyone's picking it up as a hobby.
Anyone in the chat, anyone have an idea what that show may be?
They got it. They know what I'm talking about. They'll hop in. They know what I mean.
Do you know the title? I have no idea.
I got it. It's the Six tournament in rugby. Netflix is doing another Drive to Survive show about the Six Nations rugby tournament.
So it's there. Okay. So it's
not everyone picking up the sport. It is a coverage of a professional league. Yeah.
So the show where it's like saying, did you watch the AFC Championship? It was that game where everyone played football. So
well,
it's just rugby.
By the way, don't yell at me. It's also fast advertising. Do you know what that tournament's called? It's called the Six Nations tournament. Take a guess at which six countries are in it. It's Europe. I'll give it away. It's Europe.
Only Europe. Okay, so England.
Mm-hmm.
Does Germany got a team?
Nope.
Spain?
Nope. This is a fun game.
Oh man. Okay, so
you got to get the other big one, England, and who's the Austin to their rock. Yeah, 100%. France is in it.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how far over. Does Denmark got a team? I care about Denmark?
There's 6, by the way. There's only 6. They don't have one.
Norway.
No.
Jesus Christ. Italy.
Boom, they're in.
Okay, and I'm half down.
Yes. And I'll cut you off there.
Okay.
You're never going to get the other ones.
What are they?
It is England, France, Italy, and then our favorite other 3 countries. Ireland. Okay. We like Ireland, but they're half. I'm not sure if it's. At first, I was like, I think it's a Northern Ireland team, which is also the UK. The only reason I'm suspicious of that, the other 2 nations, of course, Zach, are Wales.
Okay, that's still just England.
Scotland.
That's stupid.
The Six Nations, sponsored by Britain and friends. How do we make a tournament that we win all the time? Be like if we hosted, can we have the new Packer conference where it's just us, the Lions, and then Rutgers, like Milwaukee will be in it.
That's the equivalent. And by the way, I'm already pushing for it. That's the equivalent of the MLS champion should be called the world champion.
True. They got mad at the NBA player when they were like, it's the world champion. It's like, no, it's not. You don't play everybody. Six Nations.
I mean, yeah, I feel like there has to be like if you could see the other nation from your back porch, it shouldn't count.
By the way, you know what I learned from that show so far? Every episode, like we're playing England, it's the one we care about the most. I'm like, yeah, no shit. They are us. They're always the bad guy. It's like, it's always like England's always like they have a good squad. We'll go out there today. We'll play hard. We'll play fast. And then the other team's like, years of oppression, crimes on our people, revenge. It's like, okay, like
England's
it's
the best, vibe. Right?
This year, no, third best.
I mean, that's a setup. You know, it's a setup. They're gonna come back. They're gonna smash them.
It is a setup. So far, watching, France was on a tear, so they were number 2, and the team that's apparently the number 1 rugby team in the world, Ireland.
Better not. Okay, I thought you were gonna say Wales. I feel like I'm not watching that show.
No, surprise, they're terrible. Bad. 3 good teams, 3 bad teams. But Ireland, very good. They beat New Zealand. It was a big deal, I guess. So I'm getting into that. But yeah, all of that to say, Zach, that's a setup to my other thing. I think I really want to get into rugby.
I like rugby. Rugby's fun.
I feel like out of the sports that I'm currently not invested in, because all of these leagues are popping up, and I'm a little sick of it. And they're all dividing. I'm supposed to be a fan of Wrexham just because Rob McElhenney's on it. Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to, and by the way, a lot of these things I wish I could get into. I'm supposed to really invest in both the WNBA and women's college basketball because of Caitlin Clark. There's a women's professional volleyball league and a women's professional hockey league that have both just started up. MLS, Messi plays in the MLS.
Oh, tell me about it. The men's league, I know.
100%. So like that should be a thing. It's Rapinoe's last hurrah. That's a thing that's happening. College basketball is going on.
Yeah.
Just so much. There's so much. And I feel like I can only pick one new sport to get into for 2024. And I think it might be rugby.
Okay. Rugby's fun. I couldn't tell you
2023
when
it was
they play.
sumo. Now for 2024, it's rugby.
Okay. I feel like 2020. I remember 2020 for me. I think was Australian football. That was fun. If you've never watched that, that's a good time. That's
No.
a spin-off of rugby in a way.
Yeah, 100%. Rugby made me realize I don't like their substitution rule.
I don't think I know it.
It's a soccer substitution.
Oh, let's distance ourselves from that shitty sport. Like, if we want to blow up rugby, get away from soccer.
Yeah. I just and everyone's telling me I like sevens rugby more because it's more exciting because there's less folks. So I think that makes sense. But I kind of like this one that I'm like, man, should I have been born in Europe? Because I think I would have been good at rugby. Because there's just a couple big fat guys leaning on each other. Like I'm like, that was the only thing I was good at on the O-line. Lean with it, rock with it. Like, let's go.
You've scouted some sumo guys that would be great for that sport.
Oh my
Maybe you
God.
could be the agent that really ties the two
Listen,
together.
this is not where I expected this to go. Everyone should watch sumo.
Sumo's insane.
So good. Watch sumo wrestler goes into crowd. You'll never not watch it again.
Yeah.
There's an episode he charges and gone out into the crowd. You've never seen. It's like when Shaq went into his own team's bench.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite clips, except he stopped himself. The sumo wrestler did not. One cameraman really gets it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, graphic, I'm sure. So age gated.
They've all got a wife who's like 5'4".
Of course, yeah.
They're all slaying. It's intense. Yeah. I think I told the story on the show. My favorite is the guy who claps in his opponent's faces.
Yeah, and like burst their eardrum or whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy. So good.
That's insane.
That guy got DQ'd last year because he kept slapping his opponent's thighs. He was trying to make him lose nerves.
Lose nerves.
He's giving them Charlie horses.
Okay. Just this really quick side tangent. Twitter's undefeated, dude. So I was looking at the trending tab, the bar, and there's something trending. It was Taylor Swift. This has to be some AI generated image.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, maybe it's not. It's kind of Taylor Swift's face on, let's just say, a woman that reminds me a little bit of Honey Boo Boo's mom.
Gotcha.
Next to a trailer. Just pretty great. All the tweet says is Taylor Swift and it's trending. It's pretty good.
It is pretty good. By the way, and maybe this takes us into NFL talk. Taylor Swift is growing on me a little bit.
Okay. Okay. I feel like you were already in, but
I was in. But can we say that, like, I feel like I was in before because I couldn't understand why people are out.
Sure. Okay.
Like,
so why is she actually winning you over?
I think, dude, I don't know why, but it's like every time I see her with Travis, I'm like, she wants to party so hard, dude. Like, she's been so famous for so long. I feel like her and Travis do donuts in the parking lot, and it's a great time.
Yeah. It feels like the relationship where her parents for sure don't approve of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the bad boy.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? She's like the first partner I've seen in a long time. She looks stoked to be at a sporting event.
That's true. That's true. And people should celebrate that for sure.
Yeah.
Like, for all the football people who hate Taylor Swift, she always looks very excited to be at a football game.
Yeah,
you should feel good about that.
I think I really like that. I think after the game, I like that she's just like, kiss me, you fool. Like, I don't know. I think it's good. I'm just in on it, man. I think she's having a great time.
I agree. I think she always knows where her camera is, which is a talent.
Same.
Right now, I got it under control.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do I like Taylor Swift? No. Do I think the hate is valid whatsoever? No. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It is what it is.
But the real
Who
question,
cares?
do you think she's going to make it from Tokyo, dude?
I hope she doesn't. That'd be funny. I mean, it would give millions and millions of people the same feeling that I got when The Rock did not come out at Royal Rumble. How about that?
You know what she should do? She should be the flyover. It's her jet.
She should. I mean, they should just say
She
Taylor
parachutes
Swift's in
in.
that jet. I mean, that works too. I mean, what they should do legitimately, and it's the smartest thing I've ever seen, and it's something that we have been pitching on the show for years. You watched the full AFC Championship, I'm assuming, yeah?
Yeah.
They brought out Terrell Suggs mid-game, and they had like the whole promo for him. They hit his music. The lights went out, and he fucking came out there. Incredible move that every team needs to do. They should just do that during the Super Bowl. Make it, people would be so fucking pissed, but make it an event. Make it a spectacle that Taylor Swift has arrived from her concert. Let's just see how many football people just lose their minds. It'd be incredible.
Listen, we can all, I want it to be like when Bill Murray shows up in Space Jam. Da, 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 da. I'm like, we need a kicker. And she's like, I got it.
That'd be good. I mean, it would be an incredible move too, where it's like, obviously for the Super Bowl, it's already announced who
he loses his voice. I was just
the national
say,
anthem. Yeah. I mean, that or
Usher. No shows.
I mean, that would be great too. But like, don't they also usually sing like America the Beautiful or something?
Yeah, there's a lot of songs before the game.
Yeah, she should come out and do that. It's a little bit too early. I don't think enough people will be watching, but I think that's a good move.
I think it should be a duet, her and Jason.
Honestly,
best-selling artist.
Just get him a mic. He's the greatest. I love Jason Kelce.
They should
if you
do
dislike
like
Travis, just don't let that leak over to Jason, please. That's my only request.
100%. I think they should do like a Manning cast for the Super Bowl.
That'd be huge.
Yeah,
that'd be insane
in general. So they should just do that. But if they wanted to compete, dude, if it was Jason explaining the game to Taylor,
that would be awesome.
That would be very funny. Fun. And every quarter, a different Eagles teammate joins, and the fourth quarter has to be Lane Johnson. Give him as much time to consume alcohol as possible. I want drunk Lane Johnson. I want Jordan Maluda because he can't stop swearing.
Mm-hmm. True.
And then in the middle, who do I want in between those two? Those are the bookends, I think. I think in between them, you give me Jalen Hurts in his weirdly high voice.
True.
I'd be okay with that. Sirianni's
so funny. He's such a
never mind. One quarter, it's Jason, Taylor, and Brittany Mahomes, and it's just Jason slowly losing his mind.
He would. That would be pretty good.
That'd be pretty good. Or Kylie, and it'd be gold.
Yeah, that would be gold.
The
you
kids
get Jackson Mahomes in there.
Jesus, that's where I draw the line.
Okay, that's
Paul Rudd, big Chiefs fan. Paul Rudd.
That's true. That it should be. There should be some commercial where it's like Paul Rudd is the big Chiefs fan, and then Taylor Swift comes in and steals the thunder, and he's all butthurt about it.
I like the idea that we have a super fan from every team, and I want Jason to be the mediator, and then I want it to be Paul Rudd for the Chiefs, and he's like, "Who am I talking with today?" And it's Patrick Willis, like just the scary Tachio spikes.
Yeah,
like I have to talk to Ronnie Lott for 30 Lions. Like this guy's scary. Mike Singletary.
You know who is a Niners fan who was at the game, and it almost made them turn a little likable. It was Danny Rojas was on the sideline.
Yeah.
Whoever plays him in a Kittle jersey, which is incredible.
It is good. Okay. Should we get into the games themselves? I do have a little sports talk game you could play if you want a preamble. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think we need to talk these games to death. I just
No,
think
correct.
there's a couple,
I think, yeah.
there's just a couple big points that sports talk people are talking about today, and everyone has an opinion about, and I just think people are stupid. So, if that factors in your game, we can just play your game. Otherwise, I'd like to say Lamar Jackson, pretty good quarterback, and Dan Campbell did exactly the same thing that he's done for 3 years, and now we're surprised.
The storylines I think were perfect. I think we've set up a
Perfect.
very good Super Bowl. I will
That's
say I don't want
lost in it, by the way. People are saying the opposite, and that's so stupid.
No. I will say I think it's gonna get lost in the shuffle. How fucking like it felt so like, oh, the Chiefs win. Da, 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 da. That game was great. That fumble into a touchback is maybe one of the grossest moments in sports history.
Yeah.
Like thinking about that is gross, dude. That stinks. That's Patriots intercepting the Seahawks levels of this sucks.
Well, there's so much, by the way. So yeah, rookie Zay Flowers, great game, has the taunting call ahead of it.
Correct.
And then he fumbles into the end zone. And then sharing the same sideline as Odell Beckham decides to also attack an inanimate object on the sideline by punching his bench, splitting his hand open, which is awesome. And by the way, this is something that happened that nobody's talking about. So maybe you don't know this. But after the game, Odell Beckham Sr. did Odell Beckham Sr. things. And, you know, no one's citing him for whatever reason because it would feed into their point. He's saying that Odell just needed a good quarterback. He needed someone to just throw him the football. He was open the entire game. And now there's that feud. And I tried to feed into it, by the way. I asked him who he would rather have throwing Odell the football. Because we could have got so much content, but he didn't feed into it. But on Twitter, he's been going off just saying like he just needed a good quarterback. Meanwhile, next week, Lamar is going to accept his second MVP award.
Yeah, I think one crazy that folks have been talking about Lamar the way they have been when he, like, I didn't even fully remember he already had a MVP, you know? Like, what are we doing? So, sorry, this chat really threw me for a loop, but I think with Lamar and the Ravens, I think it's perfect. I think they're really set up for success. I can't wait to see him come back.
Yeah.
That game was wonderful. Oh, the Lions hurt. That game hurt so bad. But also, I think it's okay. Like, Dan Campbell stayed true to their identity. I thought did really good. I think this feels like I'm being taunted by a free throw, like student section. But
stay focused.
Stay focused. I guess my big takeaway from that game is like, you know, both teams stayed true to their game plan, and like I thought it was perfect that it cost the Lions everything, and the 49ers ran their way out of a 27-point deficit, which I didn't know was possible.
No, it's pretty insane. So people are saying Dan Campbell should have been kicking field goals once in the first half to go up by 3 scores, another later in the game. And it's just like, where have you been the entire year? It's Dan Campbell's gone for it on 4th down all the time. And that's the reason, that's the reason they're in the game. 2, they're on a backup kicker who's not very good, and he hasn't been very good. 3, the Lions on like 4th and 2 or less, or 3 or less, or whatever, have converted at 75% of the time this year, which is insane. Niners have been terrible in 3rd down defense, so, you know, with their backs up against the wall. So just to fault Dan Campbell for being aggressive is silly. We've said it, I mean, last year. It's like, some people are going to turn on Dan Campbell, and this is going to be the thing that they cite, but it's just stupid. It's just really stupid. He's done the one thing you need to be as a coach is consistent. He stayed consistent. He did the exact correct decision, especially when they didn't convert and the Niners ran it directly right down the field and scored a touchdown. It's like he knew. I'm talking about the second one where the Lions were losing. They could have tied the game up. Like, he knew they needed a touchdown. They needed to change the momentum. Tying it up doesn't do anything. So, like, the fact that people are arguing that that's not the right decision is just silly.
49ers would have had more time later. If anything, I think you could make an argument that, like, in the first half, they chose to kick a field goal instead of going for it. Had they gone for it, they would have had an extra 4 points. Like, that swings that way. So I think they chose to come out and be aggressive. I think he understood that. Listen, we've said this before too. There's no holding that 49ers team to less than 28 points. It just is going to happen. So they had a great first half, put themselves in a good position, didn't quite capitalize. I think all that makes sense. Zach, are you ready to lose your mind, though?
I can't wait. This is going to be great.
So all week, people have been making dumb comments on different things in both of these games and football in general. So I thought, Zach, I would take these takes to their hottest point. Okay. And I've got 4 stages of anger, because this game I like to call, can I make Zach mad? So your 4 stages are, that doesn't make me mad at all.
Okay.
That pisses me off because it's so stupid.
Okay.
That pisses me off because it's so right.
We'll see. Okay.
And I'm just angry. That's stage 4. Okay. Just general anger.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And so, first one, obviously, Dan Campbell getting a lot of flack all week. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Should he made that call? Should he not made that call? A lot of gutsy decisions, which is why, Zach, of course, the correct hot take is he's just a more manly Brandon Staley.
Oh, that's okay. What a bad take.
I mean, that's what it is. He takes a lot of risks. He looked at the numbers. You should go for it on 4 if you got to maximize your opportunities.
No, I'm angry because it's wrong. Like,
but what do you mean? Staley's he knows the things. He goes for it. He makes that logical decision.
Brandon Staley could be in a blackout room with earmuffs on and not know anything, and he would make the exact same decisions because he just looks at the sheet of paper. It's like, well, according to my calculations, 51% of the time I should be doing this, and he has no idea what's going on. Dan Campbell's a gut dude. He has some numbers, people. Dan Campbell's smarter than what people give him credit for, but he's like, yeah, I trust Penei Sewell to beat your ass. That's why we're going for it here. So it's wrong because Dan Campbell's a football guy. Brandon Staley's not.
Okay. Agree to disagree. I don't know. They're similar in terms of outcome, No,
they're not. Brandon Staley doesn't have a job. Dan Campbell's in the NFC Championship.
Give it a couple months. Who knows, man? All right, next one for you, okay? One about their opponents, the 49ers.
Okay.
Brock Purdy is 1 MVP ring away from being regarded as the best quarterback in the league. So all he's missing is that championship caliber. He's that good, dude.
Man. I guess I'm just angry because I guess it's the last.
Just angry that we have to talk about Brock Purdy all the time.
Because I'm not angry because I think that's wrong. Because I'm thinking of it in terms of public perception.
Yeah.
And I'm not angry because it's right, because that sure isn't right. Yeah. I mean, all week, and especially today with the way people are talking, I get so many shades of Tom Brady with how I feel about Brock Purdy.
That was my other take, but I didn't say it because of how you feel about Tom Brady. But I was going to be like, Brock Purdy's Tom Brady.
Yeah. Like early Tom Brady, the way I felt about him is very, very similar to the exact way I feel about Brock Purdy right now. Yeah. And it's like, what's to say Brock Purdy doesn't win multiple rings? And all of a sudden people are going to be talking about him as the GOAT, where that's not true, but fine. I don't know. So I guess I'm just angry. I don't know. He's fine, dude. Okay. Brock Purdy throws the most uncatchable ball for defenses. And that's his greatest strength. Good for him. Good for him.
All right, are you ready for this? A lot of love given to Shanahan this week. The system, the thing. So this, of course, John Lynch wouldn't still be GM if Shanahan wasn't his coach. Oh, maybe I picked one that makes me mad.
Did Shanahan follow Jim Tomsula? No, he followed Chip Kelly.
Yeah, they started the same time.
Right. I really like John Lynch. I don't think people are giving him enough credit.
That's what I was getting at.
But maybe that's right. I don't know. That doesn't make me mad. Just because
makes me mad.
There's so many horrendous coaches in this league. So that's possible.
That's fair. Okay. Moving on from that game to the other game, which, of course, there's only one place to start, Zach. Are you ready for this?
Love it.
The Kansas City Chiefs are the most underrated team of all time.
Maybe.
People have been down them week in, week out, Zach.
To be honest, though, like I said, before the playoffs started, and I have I can take a pretty good temperature of the industry. Like I have I can feel it out pretty well. And like I said, the only team people were declaring dead and had zero chance to win the Super Bowl entering the playoffs was the Chiefs, which we said was for sure wrong. They should be the favorites. But as stupid as it is, the Chiefs kind of can say the whole "they doubted us" bullshit this year because it's true. And I hate it. It makes me mad because I think it's
no one thinks they're good, Zach. Not one person.
People today still don't think they're better than last year.
That is crazy.
Tell me how.
I don't know. That is tough. How about this one? Now I'm really digging. Okay.
And shout out Randy.
Glad you're here. Andy Reid wouldn't be a Hall of Famer without Patrick Mahomes.
Wrong. No.
No, what do you mean? Before that, who is his best like maybe McNabb? He's only had good quarterbacks. I don't know, dude.
Alex Smith
with two good legs.
Alex Smith had 10 wins the year before Patrick Mahomes. And what happened without Andy Reid in Alex Smith's life? He almost died. So tell me a bigger fall from grace from going from Andy Reid to anywhere else.
Andy Reid was diving board Reid. He was, listen, dude. He was diving board Reid. He never won a big game. Couldn't do it when it mattered. Like, listen, Andy Reid found the button. Andy Reid's Jeff Fisher. If Jeff Fisher had Pat Mahomes, they'd be the same. They'd have the same outcome.
I like Jeff Fisher though, so that one doesn't sting as bad. I think Jeff Fisher's a good coach, but no, I mean, no. Big Red is a Hall of Famer no matter what, dude.
Dennis Green had Patrick Mahomes.
If Mike if Mike Sherman had Patrick Mahomes, no, Andy Reid would have got it done. No doubt in my mind. People forget Travis Kelce was good before Patrick Mahomes showed up, by the way. That's insane.
That is wild. Yeah, he was notably the only offense for the Chiefs before.
There was a year where no wide receiver caught a touchdown on the Chiefs.
Mahomes wasn't throwing him the ball. Yeah, that's very good. Random one. You ready for this?
Okay.
Jason Kelce is the most overrated player in the NFL. No. What does a center do, Zach? He doesn't do. He's small for the position. He double teams everybody.
Yeah.
No one knew who he was till his brother was good at stuff.
That's possibly true, but that doesn't mean he's under. Doesn't mean he's over. Jason Kelsey's the perfect.
He gets
center.
to play next to Lane Johnson his whole career. I don't know, man. Pretty soft. He just gets to dive forward, beat the bottom of piles.
Jason Kelsey's so good, and you could argue he's not the greatest center of all time. You could argue he's not top 3. That's fine. I think you're wrong. I think he's probably in that top 3. I don't think he's the best, but centers. I need to craft this delicately because like I've been quoted on the internet all the time saying you could hide shitty players at center, and you can absolutely hide players.
They do in Philadelphia.
No, he is so the whole tush push thing. You need someone who's small, which Jason Kelsey is. You need someone who's athletic in terms of getting up to second level.
Yeah.
So fucking athletic, so good, so smart. He calls everything. Without him, Jalen Hurts wouldn't know where he's even looking. Jason Kelsey essentially gets all those passing yards. You're welcome. That's how good he is. He does absolutely everything at center. Without him, Eagles may miss the playoffs next year.
Dude, if Genlo was the key to success, the Elk Mountain High School football team would have never lost a game. Dude, I don't think you were playing anymore when we were so bad. They were like, all right, D-line, crawl. Literally crawl. They were like, they put the shortest folks in there, and then Glenn would put 80 up on us.
Jason Kelsey's every high school offensive lineman coach's wet dream, by the way. It's always got it. The lower man wins, and Jason Kelsey was the lower man at all times. Leverage.
He's got the right last name. Anyway, next one for you here. Lamar Jackson is a better athlete than the quarterback.
I mean, that's true.
That's not true. Oh, I did it to myself. It's not true. He's such a good quarterback, dude.
Yeah, he's a great quarterback.
Maybe I picked the wrong point. I don't know. I heard someone say that this week, and I almost lost my mind. Because you know who they've never said that about? Daniel Jones.
I mean, that is true, though, about Daniel Jones.
He's a better athlete than the quarterback. There's no doubt in my mind. They've never said it about him. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. True. I retract it. Maybe it wasn't the right way to word it. There's got to be a hot take there with the Ravens I haven't thought of.
I mean, people think there's no way you can play the way Lamar plays and win in the playoffs, which is wrong. There's people on every side of the argument with Lamar today, by the way. People are saying he's not a good quarterback. He's just a good athlete, like you said. There's people saying if he just ran more, they would have won the game, which I think is true, actually. I think Lamar was so caught up in, I need to prove to them that I can win with my arm in my mind that I don't think he played his best football. Like I feel like every other play, especially when they're playing man coverage, and especially when the Chiefs blitz you 50% of the time, like Lamar could get a first down every other play just running. Every other play.
Yeah. I think that game came down to key mistakes, but I agree with you that he could have played better. I also think that when teams played the Chiefs, like there's a reason in the games where the Chiefs get blown out. It's teams who just run and don't change anything. In the playoffs, everything becomes a shootout and it benefits the Chiefs. I think they let the pressure get to them.
I've talked about Spagnuolo a lot, Chiefs defensive coordinator. I've talked about him a lot on this show. Mm-hmm. How I just think he's a genius, and somehow he saves things for the playoffs just because he knows he's going to get there, and then he's insane.
Yeah,
somehow he dictates what offenses do. And he's the epitome of like, he's a thermostat and the other team's the fucking thermometer. Like he told the Ravens what they're going to do and they just said, yes, sir. Like, and he just did whatever he wanted to do. And he's like, wait, now I want to do this. And then the Ravens like, okay, we'll play this way then. Like the Ravens just didn't play the way they have played all year long. And it's because Spagnuolo came in and was like, I'm just going to do this and fuck you, which is great.
No, I think it's very good. The Chiefs gave a lot of talk afterwards. I think they do similar things on offense with like they make you do man coverage and then people forget, oh, you're trying to cover Kelsey in man coverage. Good fucking luck. Like it's like, yeah. So I think it's very good scheming all the way around. I think Spagnuolo is very good at it. I've got 2 left for you. Are you ready? Neither related to any of the championship games.
Perfect.
We'll do this one. We'll end on the silly one. Okay, ready for this?
Yep.
Bill Belichick would be the hardest coach to work with in the whole NFL.
Probably. I mean, that's the reason why he doesn't have it depends. It depends. If you are stubborn and want to do things your way, then yes. Bless me.
Never happened before. That's never happened before. I've never seen that. You didn't give me a chance to do that. Where's the trust, dude?
There's a delay. We're online. But like truthfully, like Bill Belichick doesn't have a job right now because any team that hires him would have had to change their entire culture, and every billionaire thinks they are perfect, for one. And two, like, you're not keeping anybody when you hire Bill Belichick. No. He's going to choose who you fire. And it could be the cook who you love. It could be the athletic trainer who's been there since he's been, for the past 60 years. Like, he's probably very tough to work with in terms of, like, it's his way or nothing, truthfully.
True. All right, hotter take. So. If Bill Belichick goes somewhere else and doesn't win, he shouldn't be a Hall of Famer.
No, that is a hot take.
What do you mean?
I like that take. I like that take.
No. You tell me, if you can't win in Carolina, you can't win, dude.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Prove it. It wasn't Tom. Prove it. Yeah. Straight up right now, you give me Tom Brady or you give me Bryce Young. I take Bryce Young. So prove it. Prove it, Bill.
Prove me wrong. I don't know how Washington's not going for Bill Belichick. It blows my fucking mind.
I don't think
he's the perfect. He's the perfect person for that organization that's starting completely anew, and you can call him the commander in chief. He's already in the nation's capital. Everything's perfect, and it makes sense to bring in Tom Brady for another last hurrah. It makes so much sense. It blows my mind that Washington was the first team to be like, we don't want Bill. Fine. Like, go fuck yourself. You're so stupid. Try to win. Try.
They know, man. They know. They saw the tape.
Hire Eric Bieniemy. Let's see how he does.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they're still not even going to do that. He's going to be out of a fucking job again.
True. All right. Lastly, you ready for this? Never mind. There's 2 left. We'll do this one quick. I thought of one that's actually going to make you mad. Then we'll end on. Okay, ready? This one first. I've got no read on this. I don't know what your reaction is going to be.
Okay.
I'm so fucking excited for flag football at the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. It's a great idea. Think about it. All the parts of football people like. None of the linemen got to fucking be there. We can just spread it out, score some points. What really changed? This should be what we move to.
Fuck you.
Keep them safe.
Think
of the Olympics.
He didn't say the last point because he knows better. But I think Luke also said he's very excited for the flag. Pro Bowl.
No,
Luke
he's
Reimer.
not. He's actually excited.
I think so. I'm not. I hate flag football. I hated flag football when I played it in gym class. I hate flag football now. You know what's worse than playing flag football? Watching people play flag football. Like it's
Zach, think of how good they're going to be at flag football.
Not great. They'll be fine.
They'll be fine. You know who's going to be really good at flag football? The corners.
Yeah.
Also, the defense is going to be so good at flag football. It's going to be a 3-3 game.
By the way, quarterback's very good at flag football. Crazy. I can't wait to see Tua highlights and every Dolphins fan be like, dude, Tua wasn't the problem. He could fucking ball. Yeah, great. The NFL quarterback can make throws when there's zero pressure and he's in shorts. Great.
Sorry, I got excited about I thought of a version of my last point that I think you're gonna swear at me, and I can't wait. But here's my thing with the flag football thing. I think they should pick one guy who can get tackled, but that guy doesn't know. Like,
and
each
we get to
team
choose.
picks. Yeah, at home.
No, but they don't know it. That's fun. They don't know it on the
It's
field.
like American Idol, and then all of a sudden, like, we vote in, and it's like, you can hit Aaron Rodgers. Wham!
There's James Harrison. He's dead.
So suddenly, it's like they go for the flag. It's like, how come Puka Nakua got fucking leather, dude?
Yeah. It'd be Matthew Stafford. It's always Matthew Stafford.
That's right. All right. Lastly, I should have timed it while you were drinking. Okay, last hot take. The Detroit Lions are the equivalent of the Curse of Oak Island because it's always a lot of hype but no results.
There's so many things wrong with your fucking
They've
point.
been there for years, been around. People are surprised they're still a team or a show.
No. The Lions are for sure not that because they came out of nowhere.
The best thing that happens on Oak Island is when you leave.
The Bills are kind of the Curse of Oak Island. That's a better one.
I had it in my mind as the Ravens and then changed it last second for more anger.
Yeah, Lions. No. Like I said, Dan Campbell needed to lose this game because he can't go too far too fast.
If they found it, the show would be over.
Exactly. You are, and by the way, I'm not convinced that they haven't found it, and we are just. There's a lot of back recording here that we're rolling out. We already have it planned, but no, Jake, we found fucking Roman coins this year. Okay, that's very old. Like, what are those doing there?
That one time, there. Yeah, my favorite was when they found the structure of a room.
still surveying that room, by the way. We'll get down there.
We found peeps. So look,
it's so frustrating. It's like there's this open cavern and a tunnel leading to it. Awesome. Let's drill on the other side of the island really quick, though. Like, no, can we just dig that up really quick? Let's just dig it up.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, are the Lions the 2017 Jags? Maybe. Maybe they never come back.
I mean, that's very, very, very possible.
Like Oak Island.
No, Oak Island still has their fastball. Marty Lagina knows how to fucking put on a show. Okay?
By the way, the main reason I thought about it, I gave it 2 years before Dan Campbell's on The Curse of Oak Island.
Dude, special guest. Let's find this fucking treasure, man. Dan Campbell would find it day one.
With his hands.
Sniff it out. Yeah, for sure. For sure. They've also never tried a dog. Can we have the dog smell the coin and just find more coins? That's a thing.
Dan Campbell can help you with that. We got a lot of dogs, man.
Dan Campbell loves metal detecting. We know that. And he would be on fire finding shit.
He loves metal detecting and he's very gullible.
That's true. They need a Dan Campbell guy on their in their group. They need someone to revive the faith, revive the energy, be like, yes, we know there's shit down there. Because everybody in that room now is like, maybe it's gone. Maybe.
By the way, Randy on stream just gave me a compliment, so I'm gonna call a grammar error he had about 5 minutes out on him. Because Oak Island made me think of it. Favorite shows to watch when you're sick as a child. I like thinking about
Price is Right.
The way he worded it makes it sound like I'm occasionally sick as a kid right now.
I mean, fair enough, but I mean, Price is Right is.
Wow. It's not Oak Island. That feels like a good.
As a kid. I'm thinking as a kid. Are we not doing it as
the way he worded? That's not how he asked it, dude. Hey, Randy, I love you. Work on your grammar, dude. There's no past tense in that.
No. Right now, if I'm sick.
Kidding, Randy. You're being very nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like. I mean, There's nothing more sad, by the way, and I've done it, so I can speak from experience. Watching like Price is Right when it's not live, it's not it. So that's why when you're sick and home from school and you can watch it at 10 or whatever it is, 9:30. It is the right answer, Randy. It has to be.
Bill Nye.
I never watched that at home. I don't think like ever. That's a school thing.
When I was sick at home, honestly, growing up, it was a lot of like I'd like to see like what was on ESPN in the middle of the day before Price before First Take lost its charm. Yeah.
I watched a lot of PTI back then.
PTI. Oh, so damn, Randy. My bad, man. My bad. But disappointed. I think for me, I was gonna go Family Matters. I thought
I never really watched a lot of that.
I love Big Urkel guy.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then Stump the Schwab, dude. Do you remember that? It was an old show on ESPN where they brought in this big sweaty nerd who knew a lot of trivia. And it was just a sports trivia show hosted by Dan Patrick.
Really? I don't remember that at all.
Yep. And it was like, that was the thing, was he knew all this sports stuff and you had to try and beat him in this game.
They should do that for sure again.
Should be me. That's why I was hating on him. I was like, me, dude, me.
That would do well, wouldn't it? Like a legit sort of game show on ESPN.
Well, it should be the type of thing that should be on Disney Plus. It's a great bring back the same brand.
I mean, they could put it on ESPN Plus. I just don't believe people actually watch shows on ESPN Plus. Maybe they do.
No, I have it to watch random things that aren't on TV. Also, maybe occasionally to watch 30 for 30s, but
UFC. That's it.
Yeah. I have it for different like baseball games and colleges. So
college games, yeah,
college games. But I think that would do really well. I would also, by the way, this was my big takeaway from the football coverage this weekend. I would also take a show. Overrated Sports House is a question we're getting in the chat, which, by the way, if you are listening at home, thank you for watching on demand and doing whatever. Please get in whatever comment section you're in, like Randy is here, so you can be a part of the action. I'll respond to every comment on YouTube. I promise.
On the video after the fact.
On the video after the fact. So I will see you there, folks. Yes. But to that point of overrated, Gronk has not found his rhythm. As a sport, get a little bit of like early Shaq vibes though. That's like the only hope is like
he's not allowed to be him. I think
having him give sports takes. Stop having him give opinions on the game. He's on record. He never watched tape. He doesn't watch tape. He doesn't know. He's a freak. Like, just let him react.
He needs he just needs a better host with him. But like he feels very rehearsed, right? So it feels like they gave him the question a week ago and he's had all week to prepare it. And like, we don't need that. We just need him riffing and just being, he
you can tell his co-hosts like him because every once in a while they'll get big laughs because I think he's different off camera. Like this week they clowned him because he's tried to sneak it in because he's not trying to be Goofy Gronk. Someone said, someone should have called Journey during halftime because these 49ers didn't stop believing. And very quietly, you can hear Gronk go, "Who's Journey?" And he got fucking nailed for it. That was bad. Another time, Jimmy Johnson was in the middle of talking and then Gronk just started talking. Michael Strahan couldn't stop laughing because he was like, "Gronk, what was that there?" And he's like, "Well, I was going to forget what I was about to say." So I just started going and I'm like, that's what you got to do. Like, just lean into that. Like, there's enough goofy stuff there.
I think Gronk would work if he was on that Amazon team.
I think so too. I think Gronk would work better in the booth as like a color commentator piece. Yeah. So I don't know, but that was just a take from that. But he's someone I like always enjoy. Like he's my favorite guest the Kelseys have ever had on. I thought his guest spot was really good.
When he can just shoot the shit with people that he likes and knows, he's great.
Yeah. So, no, I think it's good. By the way, Terry Bradshaw, things are looking rough, dude.
Yeah.
It's my quarterback, but
I love Terry. He's fine. He's fine. Randy wants to know worst commentary team. And I have maybe my opinions. I do, but I almost wonder if
overrated.
I mean, yeah, but
no, I don't think so. Stephen A. Smith is rated. He's certainly not underrated, but I think he's appropriate. Because what is anyone saying about him? Like the greatest? No one's ever I've never heard a compliment.
That's true. It's just that he's everywhere and is the most influential person.
That's like, is Skip Bayless overrated? I'd say no.
That's true. Yeah, that's
hated.
True. Yeah. He's polar. They're both polarizing. They're not overrated.
Yes. Worst sports commentary team of all time.
I'll have all time. I'm going right now.
Oh, right now. Okay. Because I was like,
and I was only thinking football, but if I want to go basketball, the best thing that you've missed out on, Jake, in basketball is Doris Burke. She's fucking bad. She's
which
bad.
Which is a shame because I like Doris.
Yeah, she should not have a microphone though. And she should never do a Celtics game ever again. It's bad.
I don't know if this is a team, but there was a year where it was Booger. I think it was it was Booger, Witten, and it was like the most boring shit of all time. And I think McShay, it was like a wild combo of folks on the Monday Night Football crew. And it's like, what are we doing?
After John Gruden, there was a good half decade where it's like we need it was just mistake after mistake.
Booger was on a lot of them. That wasn't good. I'm out on Reggie Miller.
I don't like or dislike him. I mean, the one that popped into my mind right away that I don't like, I do like Jackson Van Gundy. And that's who Doris Burke replaced, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't like Collinsworth Tirico. I hate him. I hate both of them.
I like Tirico.
That's everyone's opinion, I think. Everyone would say Tirico makes it listenable. No one likes Collinsworth, but I don't like Tirico either.
Collinsworth, oh man, a take that longtime listeners of the show will know love by now. Collinsworth does my favorite thing ever. He focuses on one player and he brings it out every time. Harrison Smith is still untouchable. David Bakhtiari is a force on the edge.
He's been this past season, he was so blatant with that. I can't remember which game it was, but it was fourth quarter, game was about done. And he essentially just said, I prepared something about this guy. Let's shoehorn it in. Like what he actually said, I can't remember the player. I wish I did. But he's like, oh, before we get out of here, though, I do want to talk about one player. And then they had like a video package for him. Like, what are we doing?
I think I know who it was. I had to listen to talk about Jason Peters for 20 minutes. Like he was hurt that game. And they kept talking about him. Like
fucking good for Jason Peters.
Old man on the mound. Yeah, he's bad. But dude, Tirico won, which may be some of that Gruden charm because that was the pair. But, and also the Olympics,
Yeah, I think he's good then.
So good.
I don't know what I liked Tirico a lot more prior to this year. This year he's said a lot of things that have pissed me off. So I don't know.
That's how I feel about Jim Nantz. Jim Nantz really got on my nerves. Jim Nantz and Tony Romo need to try a little.
Fucking Tony Romo was an idiot. Jim Nantz said something yesterday that pissed me off. I can't remember what he did. He was being an asshole towards somebody. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know, man. My last thing for you, Zach, before maybe we end with any audience participation questions we like here is it is Oscar season.
Okay.
So I'm going to tee you up because I have this experience with the Rumble. So the question to you, and I will preamble a little bit to give you time to think, is what is a movie you went and saw that you liked so much better than other people did? Like, you're like, this is so good. This is great. And then you left and you're like, oh, people didn't like this. because by the way, Royal Rumble was this weekend for wrestling fans. I went online. Zach immediately messaged me. He's like, "What is this shit?" And I was like, "Oh, he doesn't get it." And I went online. I was like, "Oh, the wrestling fans will get it." No. It was a me thing. I'm in a different opinion than most of the internet. And yeah, folks didn't like it. And with Oscar season being around the horn, it just made me think like, who's the stupid Oscar go to, you know? Randy gets it. Royal Rumble was great. Sorry, that's a plug for to be on the live stream. But Randy gets it, dude.
Was not.
Any movies that come to mind right away? Because I've got an immediate one.
I probably have better answer. Like, there's probably a better answer. Two movies in particular popped into my mind. One, because I talked about it, I think, yesterday. And don't know how it came up. But the first one that popped into my mind was Wicker Man with Nick Cage. Fucking banger. I stand by that. But the movie that came up in conversation, I think, yesterday is Little Nicky. That movie's good. I don't care. People are wrong if you don't like Little Nicky. Popeye's chicken is the best. It's so fucking good. It's a great movie.
That is a wild take, dude. I don't know. That's very funny. For me, Space Jam 2 was a clear one. Like I went into it and I was like, you know what? They did it. It was good. It felt great. I came out, everyone's like, my childhood. And I was like, oh, it was good. But the real one, I'm ashamed to say this. I did not realize people didn't like this movie until much later.
Okay.
The Game Plan starring The Rock. Football movie where he's the dad of a kid. I was like, that's one of The Rock's best movies. It's like a booty Rotten Tomato score. Like, really? I didn't realize, like, he's very allergic to something. That's a big plot of the movie. Doesn't know what she's allergic to. There's a bulldog that gets a lot of love, and he's just an arrogant quarterback. But he's also The Rock. Like, he's just him the whole movie, which is maybe what I liked. But, yeah, I went back. It's got like a 25 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Not bad. Not bad. Could be better.
I listed it. It came up one time, and I was like, that's one of my favorite sports movies. And everyone said, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh, it's good.
Yeah, putting it up there for favorite sports movies is probably not great.
That Gridiron Gang, another great Gridiron rock movie.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Did people dislike the new Longest Yard, or is that liked?
I think so, but they're wrong.
Okay, yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know. People also didn't like.
I can say a lot of TV shows that people didn't like that I love. That's probably easier.
Yeah, give it to me.
Oak Island. 2, Last Man on Earth. 3, it's got to be a lot more. I don't even fucking know.
I'll give the big one. I'll be the guy right here. Game of Thrones season 8. It was fine. Okay. It was good. They should have stretched it out. Yeah, that's the final one that no one liked. I liked it. So that's the big one I always get shit for. Love Island.
Love it. Yeah, Love Island's great. I don't think people dislike that. People who like are looking for that love it.
People who are looking for it love it.
Have you seen F Boy Island?
No. What is this?
That's the best one of these shows.
Oh, really? What is it on? Claire and I will start it.
It's on now. Well, I think the first 2 seasons are still on Max. The latest season is on CW because Max didn't pick it up. And we found out there's multiple countries versions. So we watched a couple of those. The premise is it's so good.
Googling this.
It's such a fucking good show. So there's 3 women who are going on there looking for love, Jake. And there's a whole cast of male contestants. Half of them are F-boys, self-proclaimed. Half of them are nice guys, but you don't know which one what they are. So the girls are trying to pick someone that they want to leave with. If it's a nice guy, they're going to split the prize money. If it's an F-boy, they get to choose if they want to take the money, the whole thing, or share it with them. So the woman could get left there looking like an idiot without any money or anything. It's so good. It's so fucking good.
Feels like a little patriarchy, like kind of, but it is fun. It's good.
It's good. It's a self-aware one. Nikki Glazer, if you know her, she's a comedian, stand-up. She is the host, and I think she helped
that's good.
executive produce it or whatever. But she before they did the first season, she was telling stories about it and stuff on podcasts. There was F boys left the commune or whatever, so they had to chase them down because they just left to go fuck girls in Miami or wherever they were. There's so many good stories. It's such a good show. You'll like it. I promise.
All right. Well, okay. Here's what we're doing, folks. Zach, what is our current subscriber count on YouTube?
It's probably somewhere around 11.7 thousand.
Okay. When we get to 12, if we get to 12 in the next, how long do we want to give the people?
I want to hit it next month, but if
good.
you want to be,
let's do it.
If we want to, because February is a short month, so if we want to be a little, easy on the people, we'll say March.
Here we go. If you hit 13, so tick it up a whole 1,000. Ready?
Okay.
If you hit 12 by the end of next month, Zach and I will live stream F-Boy Island.
Great show. I would love that.
If we hit 13, we will do back-to-back. We'll live stream that and MILF Manor.
MILF Manor. We watched, I think, the first episode of that. That's the one with Tay Diggs, right?
I don't know. That's the one where the mom's aunt. No, that's not it. You would know. Yeah. That's not how I would describe that show. MILF Manor is a dating show where moms and sons come on. Correct, yes. And the sons date other people's moms. Yeah, at the same place where their kids are. So it's just a bunch of sons banging their mom's friends.
That's so weird. The Tay Diggs one is called Back in the Groove, I believe. Also older women. Yeah. But there wasn't enough Tay Diggs, so stopped watching that.
The MILF Manor one, they do challenges. The first challenge is you do a kissing line and see if you can tell who your mom is.
No.
13K, people. We get to 13K. Zach watches that. He takes a shot every time they make an incest joke. It's blasted.
I mean, last time, what was it? I took a shot for something in wrestling. That was not good.
If you make it to 15K by the end of next month, the FlurrySports fam will play flag football. We'll stream it.
God, just be pissed off. I'll be quarterback. I can't even fucking throw a football past 30 yards probably.
No, that's good. You trying to tell Emily to run in a straight line. Oh. That's what we need.
Yeah. What a disaster. We need to have medics on standby.
We do need to have medics on standby.
Okay, so one thing we teased last week, and people have been waiting well over an hour at this point. Let's end. And Randy, I do appreciate it. And Jake can answer any of his stuff that they want. I do not own Packer stock because I'm not a fucking moron. But Jake went to Iowa. Not just go to Iowa. He spent a week in Iowa, which is the longest anyone who doesn't live in Iowa has gone to Iowa and has lived to tell the tale. So I can only assume it was an exhilarating week in your life.
Yeah, dude, it kind of sucked. No, it was. I like the people who were there. So if anyone happens to listen to this, it was good. By the way, I made a connection for the show. One of the in my field, one of my peers that I met was great. He found out I did a baseball podcast, playing catch up plug, and he's a former minor league baseball player. So we chatted. There might be some connections there. He knew some people in the league. I jumped the gun. This is not good. You guys, do you know Pepia, who plays for the Dodgers? And I go, yeah, he's not that good. He's like, he's a good friend of mine. I was like, fuck.
Jake.
I never meet people who know.
He's not going to bring up somebody to be like, hey, yeah, I also hate
was like, he's fine, right? He's like a 5-stringer. I had no idea. I don't know why I did it. I was super aggressive. But yeah, randomly shot him down. So maybe a friend of the show, maybe not. But we'll find out. It is a little funny because he was a relief pitcher in college. So all of his buddies are like 7th, 8th inning guys. So it's kind of like knowing a punter.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, they were part of a team, kind of.
Yeah. Well, they're there, but it's like, do you know who Zach Thompson is? No. Like nobody does do. I'm happy for him. He's good. He's good at what he does. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. Ray Guy, if it's not him, no shot. But yeah, so talk to him. But yeah, I was there, and I think the part that like my parents were like, "What are you doing?" Because I was there Tuesday through Thursday night, and I drove back Friday afternoon. My dad was like, "Did you forget something?" And I said, "No, it's a separate work trip. 2 work trips, 1 week, Iowa." So we were there, had the best Iowa cuisine around, Who Hot and Burger King. So
Nice.
that was good. Oh, a grill and chill, a little Dairy Queen action.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it there, or is it just their version?
No. A grill and chill, that's a Dairy Queen that serves hot food. Do you not know? Oh, dude, there are some Dairy Queens back in the day. I don't know a Dairy Queen now that isn't a grill and chill, but back in the day, some Dairy Queens just did ice cream. If you see a Dairy Queen anywhere, it'll have a sign underneath it that says grill and chill.
Huh.
Okay. So it was the thing. I do have a funny bit that my staff did that I think is the real takeaway from Iowa. Something to make it enjoyable.
Okay.
Oh, first off, on the first trip there, someone was like, "You're into sports, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "What do you think of Caitlin Clark?" And I'm like, "Oh God, I'm not that into it." Like,
who? Boo! You should have just booed right in their face.
God, Iowa, you don't have to play the stereotype so fucking hard. I like corn too. Anything else you want to know? Yeah. I think it's cool you wave to children. Anything else?
Brian Bulaga has a southern accent. That's really cool.
Yeah,
why did he do that?
I like watching Monday Night Football when they say "Iowa." Like anything else? Like what do we need? But I was like, yeah, dude, she's good. I think she ran into that fan on purpose. Anything else we need to cover? But also,
I agree. Flopped.
Dude, this is a good prank by my staff. I get there and we separate for the day. I go to do presentations. They separate. They give me a thing of gold star stickers and they're like, "We're going to try and meet folks. So if any of them come up to say hi to you, we'll send them. So give them a gold star if anyone comes up to you," which I was like, this is weird, but whatever. Go meet people. That's fine. I walk into my first room, dude, and something's up because I walk in and they go, "Is that him?" And I was like, "Oh no." Or do they know me? Which I was like, "Well, should I feel about this? Do you watch the FlurrySports podcast?" But yeah. I was like, "What?" And they're like, "You're the baseball guy." And I was like, "What?" And they're like, "On the baseball card." And that was when I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" My staff edited my face onto a Harmon Killebrew Twins baseball card, printed off 300 copies, brought them to this conference and started handing them out to folks and said, "If you find the guy who's on this baseball card, he'll tell you about his baseball career and give you a prize."
Which is the sticker?
So, well, I didn't know that. They were like, "Do you have something for me?" And I'm like, "I don't think so." And they're like, "You must have something for me." They said so. And I was like, "What?" And well, this was the ingenious of it. They had me at every stage because then I had to give them a sticker. And then I said, "Well, okay, I think someone led you up to this because I don't play baseball." And they said, "Well, on your card, it says you're the Eau Claire Baseball Hall of Fame." And I was like, "Got me," because I am, dude. True to my word. So I was like, fuck. So this whole conference, people were getting cards of me. I had friends who I've known for 3 years coming up to me going, "I didn't know you play baseball." Good prank. And people came up. It was a good Photoshop. I like a little bit like Babe Ruth. They got, by the way, it's kid me. They went on Facebook and got a picture of my 8th grade baseball photo.
Man.
So that was the Iowa trip. People kept coming up to me. I got to plug the show.
If anyone listening has one of these cards, please send a picture of it for sure. And by the way, if you want, because I'm guessing you didn't do this because, you're a little bit too big of a celebrity for these people, but I'll say it. You can send them to Hannah Brunner at Elkmont School District, and Jake will autograph them and send them back.
100%. Yeah. And if it was any other group of people, that would have been one thing. But it's also like RAs. So they're like, "Can we get a selfie?" Like, I'm like, "No, I don't know what's going on." Like, I'm trying to present on burnout. Can we hold out? I don't know. But that was very good. And then the only other thing was I got a call from my folks because I was like, all right, I need to check into my hotel. I'll meet you at the social, which is in the rec center at 9. I walk in, not there. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm trying to figure out where they are. So I leave. They end up texting me. We finally made it at 9:30. We went to the stadium on accident, not the rec center. And I was like, oh, okay. And they're like, and then we didn't know what to do because they walked into the boat and RV show in Iowa, and then we're trapped there because everyone was like, were you looking for a boat or RV? And these 5 RAs were like, yes. Can we out? So the next day they're like, well, can we get a boat? You know, and maybe that's when they decide to prank me. But by the way, I don't want a boat from Iowa.
No.
Get your ice from Hawaii? I mean, no. Like, you know, don't trade them what you don't have.
Do they even have water in Iowa? I don't think
I
so.
don't know. There's no way they have any running water.
No, there's not. It's like Brazil in that way.
100%.
They have to ship it in. I mean, they say that all the time.
It's like Brazil.
Well,
that way.
I'm glad it was an eventful Iowa trip for you. I'm glad that you got to live like an athlete for an afternoon. You know, that's a good time.
It's up there with the time they had me do a 40-yard dash at that charity kickball game.
I don't think I.
Oh, really? Oh, this is a quick story. We were doing a charity kickball tournament to fundraise for a local person who's going through cancer treatment. And our team was doing good. And a scout for the Preds was there. So you might know who it is, actually. But scout is a strong word. A guy who worked for the Predators was there to also support the event. He saw me in high school. I was at this point playing kickball.
Oh,
yeah. Yes. Called me over, was like, hey, man, you look really good. I've coached the Preds. I've got ties to the Packers and the Badgers. You look good, dude. What position you play? And I told him, you know, I was a bad football player. So I said I played nose guard and I guess some guard on offense. Code for it. They don't let me play a lot, dude. I don't know. Because they should have you play a tackle. And I was like, you're right.
I'll tell him.
Yeah. And he was like, okay, well, I'm going to put some word in. Let me just see you run a 40-yard dash. And so he sets up 2 rocks outside this fucking charity kickball game. And I sprint. He straight up tells a 13-year-old me, I might be in touch. It was like I've never convinced someone to that. He's like, I get it.
Do you need my number? No. Okay. I'll find you.
Like, sounds good. Keep working at it. I was like, fuck you, dude. Where's my break?
Damn it. Came later. Came in Iowa.
That's true. I do like the idea. I look so good at kickball, though.
Yes. This guy's going to fucking launch it out of the stratosphere.
He must be a tackle.
I need to get him committed to the Preds before he goes out there to kick, because then he's going to have too many offers.
Too many Preds. I have thought before, though, how funny would it have been if, like, you're there with the Preds and the coach comes up and he's like, all right, guys, we got a new recruit.
Yeah.
I just saw him out there today. He's a little slow. He's got a lot of heart, a lot of grit. We're going to coach him up. And I walked in. Been a good time.
I lost my mind.
How long would it have been before you blew my cover that I wasn't any good?
No, you weren't. I would have laughed right away, but like, I would have played it up. I would have been like, okay, we'll get you in the rotation. We'll hide you. I'll put you at center. Like, it'll be fine.
Anyone can play center.
Anyone can play center. Just Jason Kelce can do it the best.
Yeah.
That's it.
I like to think that I would have walked in and no one would have known we were related for a month. That, I think, is the bit we would have done.
Sure. And honestly, I mean, if you're at you should have said that you're more of a kicker because you're at the kickball thing. Like,
I think if I had made the team, I would have said, you know, I'm related to someone here. And I would have tried to convince people me and Stoney were cousins.
Yeah. Brothers. Yes. Yes, by blood. What do you mean?
Call Stoney and blood? I'd be murdered. Stoney.
I mean, there were some actual bloods on the team. Let's not be
Stoney, and they call me Smokey.
I'm Smokey.
Guns out, dude.
Guns out. This was the FlurrySports podcast.
Yes.
Thanks to Randy. Thanks to everyone who is listening, watching, wherever. Definitely subscribe. Again, if we hit those milestones that Jake has set for you, we will be doing those live streams and flag football. We will have a medic on standby, possibly a couple. But we'll be back next week. We shall see if we are still the award nominated or the award winning podcast. So stay tuned.